Okay, to say hello to all our apprentices in the Earth Tracks Wild Plants program. We're just out in the north end of the Hockney Valley today, and we harvested some black cherry bark. We got it from a couple larger branches and then a whole bunch of various size branches here. And I also have these little tips. Now we brought them home here tonight. We just got a little bit of water boiling, so I'm going to take these little black cherry tips. I also have all the bark that I saved, but we're going to use these just because they were on the tree and they have that beautiful almond smell. So what you want to do is get your water boiling on the stove. I think it's important that you get the water boiling first and then put the black cherry bark or twigs into the water after that. But it's just something that I learned, and I think it's valuable. So it's a good thing. And I'll just stir those around. Bring the camera over so you can see. There it is in there. I'm going to cover it and just bring it back to a boil, and then we're going to simmer this for about 20 minutes or so. As I said, it's got that really nice almond smell, and then we're going to turn it into a really good cough syrup. So we'll check back in a minute. Well, as you can see there, we're getting a good rolling boil. I'm going to actually turn that down a little bit. Here. Oh, we got the kettle boiling too. I'm just going to turn that down a little bit. So it's just simmering. It doesn't need to be quite so much, but anyways, she's working away, unlocking some of that medicinal goodness from the bark here. So here we are, simmering away our black cherry bark. I actually closed it in. Watch that, it's a little hot. Closed it in with the lid. I feel it helps to keep those volatiles in there. You know, a lot of people actually say that it's best to do the black cherry bark in a cold water infusion because of the volatiles, the aromatics, and not losing those in the steam. That's a good case. I've done it both ways with the twigs. I do prefer to just chop them up with my secondaires and then put them into the pot with the boiling water with the lid. With the barks, it's a little easier because you've shaved like the bark pieces off, and I do like the cold water infusion. There's always a couple different ways to do things. You know, I think as long as you're getting results and it's working, stick with what you're doing. The herbs work in mysterious, magical ways sometimes, and they work in many different ways in restoring healing or bringing healing and vital energy back to the body. So big thing is, for me, if it's working, keep doing it. Okay, so we've had this boiling for 20 minutes or so here. Now I'm going to strain it off using just a little strainer like this into a mason jar. This is our decoction, so it's been boiling for about 20 minutes or so. I've had the lid on it, so now I'm going to take it away from the heat, strain it, and mix it with our honey. And what we're doing now is we're going to make our cough syrup. So it's our expectorant, demulcent, relaxing, for those upper respiratory dry coughs especially. Is how we're going to use this, and once I get it all made, we're going to store it in the fridge. So I'll just take the lid off there, and that should be alright. Do this with the other hand so that you can see it, and move this over. And this is just your regular kind of strainer. You can see that the water's got quite dark, how much I had in there. It was about a 1-to-1 ratio of water to the twigs by volume. In there, I'm going to try not to spill. So I pretty much have a full, I think that's a 125 ml container. So I'm going to need to get another larger container to mix this with the honey. So what I'll probably do is get the same size container, and then I'll mix it with the honey. I'll show you that on the video here in a second. And I'm also going to do that little trick I told you about, taking this decoction here and putting it in some ice cube trays. and then putting it in the freezer, and then you'll have a tiny or a little bit that you can pull out the next time you're sick, because you probably get a 1 to 3 months in the fridge, at least one, you know, 2 or 3 plus, but I think you'll be good for a couple months in the fridge with the honey mixed with this decoction for the syrup. So now I've got my hot water decoction here, obviously hot water I suppose, and I have honey in this jar, so I'm going to mix half honey, half the black cherry, so we'll do that right now, and then take a little spoon here. I'm going to stir these together. You should be able to get a good view of that. I like to mix them while they're hot. You can do this in the pot. Some people do prefer to do that and heat them both up, because the honey is going to be a different temperature. It's room temperature right now compared to the decoction that's just a little warmer or a little cooler than the boiling point. But this works fine. For me, you just really need to make sure that you're stirring it well and pushing it up and down to get a good mix there. And I'll just stir it like this. Now I could probably put a little more honey in that, but what you do want to remember is that the really hot cherry bark decoction that's in here is going to heat up the honey and really liquefy it. So what we'll do is actually leave it here for the next little while and let it cool down. I'll actually leave the spoon in it too, so you'll be able to see what it's like when it comes out, and we'll even get to lick a little off. I'm going to try a bit. Ooh, that's good stuff. Okay, now we have our syrup done here, our cough syrup. You can hear someone coughing in the background. We're going to administer this in a minute. When I pull it out, the spoon out, it's you can see it just dripping off there, similar to the old folk maple syrup test, when the syrup, maple syrup, just kind of hangs there without dripping is how you want it. This is a little bit thin. We could probably add a little more honey, but it's going to work just fine. Yeah, and then from here you're just going to put this into the fridge. You know, you're going to have 1 to 3 months or so at least on this syrup, and you're going to use it for any of those dry upper respiratory coughs, using this as an expectorant, demulcent, a nice relaxing syrup for that cough. So anyways, hope you had fun this weekend. It was really good to get to know everybody, and I look forward to hearing your plant stories next month.